I completely agree with Pat. Like, that's genius. The other thing, they don't have any capacity.
Hey, did you just call me a genius?
Yes.
Oh, thanks. I'm shocked.
Jeez.
What do you think of that, Bobby?
Hey, it's still my... No, I'm still talking.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
So,
Carry on.
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast presented by NotClub33.com. This week on our show, we're revisiting the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, aka the Star Wars Hotel. We did a show about this last year. We all kind of gave our predictions, said it wasn't going to do so good. I think we were right, were we not? Yeah. But today on the show, we're not gonna bitch and moan about that. We're going to give some ideas about what they can do going forward to make it better. My name is Steve Rhodes, alongside of Becky Wells this week.
Hey, cheers.
Pat Neestad is here as well.
What's up?
And Mr. Star Trek down there in the bottom right corner of your screen is Bobby Burchins.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
So fitting for a Star Wars episode. So last year, right around opening time for the Star Wars Hotel, we all kind of gave different reasons, but all didn't really think it was going to do so hot. Disney has kind of said that we were right by basically cutting its quote-unquote voyages by a third, limiting the number of sailings that they're having. I don't think they can really change the price because they obviously were, before they kind of limited these voyages, they were just straight up canceling their boardings because they couldn't fill them up. So I think the price has to be the price, and if they don't have it full, they can't afford to do it because of its cast member intensive. So, I mean, where do we go from here? What are some things they can do? I guess on the namesake holiday for you, Patrick, St. Patty's Day. So Becky and I are festive and green.
Totally planned.
Hey,
I've got green in the master's hat.
No, you don't. You bashed all redheads last week, so you don't.
Damn straight.
You cannot celebrate this holiday.
I was very insulted by that.
Yeah. Pat, give us your opinion. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Pat, so what can they do, Pat? Seriously, what do you think their next step should be?
So, what I said on the show 2 years ago, or whatever that was, is that they need to break it down into 4 segments, right? They need to have a prequel segment, like for a whole quarter, be based around the prequel trilogies, and then they need one around the original trilogies. They need one around the Mando verse, and they need one around the sequels. Which with the original, this is what they're all based. Or that the whole thing is based on the sequels right now. But the problem is that all the huge Star Wars fans, most of the people don't like the sequels. So they really have no interest of going to something they don't like. But if you break it up, then you make everybody happy. And then you might get people coming more often as well, because they might want to try all 4 voyages or whatever. So in my opinion, if you're listening, I think this would work. I think it possibly could work. So
what you're saying is have separate sailings, not all in one sailing, go from each one, but have, hey, you want to book the Mandalorian weekend, it's this weekend.
For a chunk of
right. So it's going to be like for 1 quarter, it's going to be, there's 4 quarters. 1 quarter is going to be the Mando verse. And it's going to be based around that. But one of the big problems they have is Galaxy's Edge. Again, the mistake they made at Galaxy's Edge was it's based around the sequels. And you don't even see your favorite characters there. You don't see Luke Skywalker. You don't see Darth Vader. You don't see Darth Maul. You don't see whoever you want to see, like the most important characters to the goddamn show. Nobody can fucking see them. You can't see them anywhere. That's really dumb.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that would be kind of important to a park dedicated.
They finally have the Mandalorian and Grogu walking around the park. So they kind of broke that. Well,
I don't know anything about Star Wars because I haven't watched it, but like, aren't they all interconnected some way anyway? Like loosely, at least.
Yes.
So
Yes,
why
it's a-
couldn't you just
line, but
why
it's not
couldn't you
like
just
this.
put
It's
those
like,
characters, in the park?
Well,
I
you
don't
could
understand
have,
why you
but
can't.
they made a ride. They call their ride "Rise of the Resistance." They put Kylo Ren's ship in the middle of the park, so one side is Resistance, which is from the sequel, and
Yeah.
the other side is the First Order. As opposed to just making it more nondescript where anybody could fucking walk through.
Yeah,
That
that's
that
what
was the problem. But
it would mean
I
nothing
don't
to
know.
me if I saw Luke Skywalker
No.
walking through the thing. I mean, but I don't watch and I don't think
Would mean a
anybody
lot.
would really be
Yeah.
pissed. Be like,
No.
kids would want to get his autograph. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I mean,
You know.
I completely agree with that. Like, that's been an outcry. Like, people are like, I would go multiple times if they changed the story up. And I think he's smart in saying like a whole quarter. Then you've got, make it like a cruise contract. Make it like the crew members have their 4 to 6 month contract. You could do it. They have the facilities to go train immersively for all the characters, for all the performers. Just do it. You've already called it a cruise ship. Just
yeah.
do it the same way. And then you can rotate it through. Like, it's genius. And I think the other thing, they don't have any capacity
Hey, did you
to
just call
make
me a
it.
genius?
Yes.
Oh, thanks. I'm shocked.
Oh, jeez.
Woo, what do you think of that, Bobby?
Hey, it's still wait. No. I'm still talking.
I'm fucking speechless. I'm fucking speechless.
So
Carry on.
they needed to change it. Right now, there's no option to do a single person. You have to book a double
Oh, that's dumb.
capacity.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so I'm already absolutely not paying that price for 2 people, but for one person to pay that price. And again, now this conversely to a real cruise ship, because you do pay the double occupancy. But in this scenario, those rooms aren't like so giant that you're missing out by having 2 or 1 person. And the whole thing is that you'll never feel like it's super packed even when it's sold out. So why should they care? Like, they could do like 1.5 times the rate or something, but to make
Yeah.
it be where there's no break at all for someone to not bring someone else.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean,
So
I have no desire for the sequel trilogy, so I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I have other ideas too, but I'm not trying to give
Yeah.
50 ideas.
Yeah. Bobby, I know you're not as big into Star Wars as either Becky or Pat, but I'm sure you have an opinion on what could be changed going forward to make this a better product.
Yeah. Simply put, price. I mean, I've
Yeah.
said it from the beginning. There's a limited market for someone to be a huge Star Wars fan to pay that much money just to go on that experience. There's an
Yeah.
even more limited market for people who are willing to dress up and get into the experience in that exact same way. And the more that you kind of push this whole experience, the fewer and fewer people there are to continue to have a first timer experience. You have to rely on repeat guests, which is something that I don't think Disney understood there during the Bob Chapek era, in particular. That repeat guests are what really brings in the cash for these parks and for these experiences, not the once in a lifetimer experiences. And so to me, the only thing that they could do theoretically is cut some of the cast members, which they could theoretically do from what it sounds like. Not so much in the little side hustle portions of it, but there's a bridge experience where they teach you how to fire phasers and photon torpedoes or whatever the Star Wars equivalent of that is. Go ahead and make that automated. You don't need to have 10 cast members running around to show you how to press a fucking button. You can automate that to a degree. They already do it on Mission Space by highlighting which button that you need to press. So there's definitely a way that you can cut out some of those cast members and still have a complete experience. It's just there's no reason this ever should have cost this much in the first place. And I think that because this is a unique experience, there really was no market for Disney to judge the price off of. And so they went really high when they should have gone really low and then expanded or increased the price once they had complete and full bookings there for months upon months upon months.
I think
Because that's the only way that you can figure out what the actual true price value is for this market. They went
I
the
have
wrong
no
way.
idea what
they
their
bit
margins
off-
are, though.
I think they bit off more than they can chew, to be quite honest, is the reality. Is they promised this, fully immersive experience. But in order to make that a reality, they had to staff the hell out of it. And in order to staff the hell of it, that costs money. So now you need a full sailing. And if you can't get a full sailing, then you're going to lose money on said voyage.
We
So
also
now,
were promised that Batu, or the Galaxy's Edge portion, was going to be a lot more immersive when
right,
it first came around.
which
So
they
clearly,
shifted that idea to the
Yeah,
hotel.
they made it say that it had the capabilities of it, but in order to experience fully,
Yeah.
but
that's what they
clearly,
alluded
though,
to.
like you can still have an outstanding time at Galaxy's Edge without the same experience level that you do
Right.
on the Star
So
Cruiser. So
so
you
to
can
that
shift
note,
some of that away
yeah.
too. Like I said, there's a way to do this without
Well, yeah. So
without the need for full on cast. I guess is what I'm getting.
So now what they've done is they've cut basically the sailing times in not the times but the voyages in a third. So there's a lot of off days built in to the calendar now. So how many days is it down in a row? 3 or 4?
They
It's
have
3 days a
off, I
week
think.
off. I don't know if that's 3
So
consecutive days or
I think it
3
so
is.
days
why
spaced
not
out.
so why not during these downtimes? Why not just allow people to book the Star Wars hotel 1, 2, 3 nights, whatever, as a regular hotel with no immersion, and allow people just to go there, stay there, enjoy the theming. Maybe they have a dinner show or whatever in the
It's not a
theater
bad
area,
idea.
and that's it. And then those 3 nights, you're just at a regular ass hotel with a magic band, and it's just Star Wars themed, and it's not
Probably
immersion.
sell that out.
It's
You could
not a
sell that
terrible
so
idea,
quickly. Yeah,
but
Yeah.
you also have to take into account housekeeping and all the other services that a
they have
regular hotel is
housekeepers.
offering.
Yeah, yeah,
Do they? I really don't
yeah.
know if this experience is like. I mean, they have they have
They have
housekeepers after the experience is over, but in between, whatever shows and experiences and everything like that. I don't think they have somebody coming
Well,
back behind them
treat
and
it
making
like
the bed.
DVC then, because at DVC you don't get housekeeping daily unless you pay for it. So if you want it, I mean, there's a way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Steve, because they could still have like a dinner production, like
Yeah,
every night.
and unless you want to go to that method full time of making it just a themed hotel that's like every other hotels, but this one is Star Wars instead of contemporary. But I don't think they want to go that way. So why not try a hybrid,
No.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good idea.
Wait,
Sorry, I'm wrapping
will-
my head around the idea of those two being compatible, the Star Wars and contemporary.
Well, just theme,
Yeah.
But
Thinking more
but
Polynesian.
since we've had a change in leadership, they haven't really. I think they were actually watching our show, because every time we would say something, like 2 weeks later, it would get announced and that Disney was making a change. I've
I've been hearing this clicking in my ear, but
It's a different
it's
thing.
Tiger zapping
could be
in,
Bob.
but
I don't know.
hey, if it changed, then we know that they still have somebody watching.
Well, you need to
Watching
listen to
the
my
show.
damn idea, because I think my idea is
I
good,
think it's
because
great.
you get people involved, like people
Well,
would want to go to it. And that's the problem with
unfortunately-
Galaxy's Edge, is like if they could have just made like almost like a huge area. They have like there's so many different planets in Star Wars. They could have like Hoth is like this snow planet. They could have made it all inside. They could have had it fake snowing. They could have had rides. They could have been selling hot chocolate to people. Could have been cold in there. I mean, there's so many ideas, and it just seems like they kind of fell flat.
But see, what you're presupposing is that Disney wants to pump the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. They don't. They only want the Star Wars that Disney has made to be available to experience, because they want that product out there. They don't want the original series product out there. They're happy to have it. It's a cash cow. They can sell DVDs and they can have people stream it on Disney Plus. But they don't want to have Darth Vader out in the parks, even though he is by far the most popular character from that franchise. They will not have him out in Batu, specifically because they do not want to.
Don't they get money from both of them? Yeah, I mean, but don't they get money from that? They own the whole franchise.
They push the ones they made.
They push their product. They're not pushing the original Fox product.
I'm not too surprised they finally brought in the Mandalorian and Grogu, because they're so popular. I mean, people love. If you've seen videos of that, they're like swarming to these guys.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And the animatronic Grogu is pretty damn awesome too.
He also keeps
got to be where the new crop.
The guy keeps going, "This is the way." So
the new crop of fan, the younger fan, is that they're watching that show. It's available to them readily on Disney Plus, so that you've got to. It was a massive misstep not having it to boot, and now at least they saw that. But
there's a difference though. That is actually good, whereas the sequel trilogy was terrible by all measurements. I mean, except for dollars. Yeah. I mean, that's literally the only thing that they were successful.
I like some of the characters in the sequel trilogy, but I like the original trilogy and the prequels so much better. You know,
the new trilogy can never stand on its own. The original trilogy obviously did. Even the prequels, to a degree, they have their moments. But this whole new trilogy, it not to beat a dead horse with it or whatever, but it was a ripoff to a degree of all the other ones. Such poor plot, such poor planning. As to how they actually made the three movies all the way through. Yeah, the special effects were great and everything like that, but that does not make for a great in-person experience.
Good moments. Good moments in all the shows.
So essentially what we're saying is that they need to have the theme sailings that are based on certain segments of the franchise, and then during the off time allow anybody to go there and just experience it and
they
recoup some of this money they're losing.
70s and 80s were better when it came to this particular story. Like that's what they have to admit, and they're not doing that.
Well,
I think they will.
There we go.
They're going to have to adapt. So
that's our opinion on the Galactic Starcruiser and what we can do to fix it. So if anybody at the Walt Disney Company is watching, take note. Programming note. Today is we mentioned St. Patrick's Day, second day of the NCAA tournament. We'll get your picks for that before we sign off, guys. Who's going to win the whole thing? But programming note: we will be off for a few weeks. We will be back after Disney's shareholder meeting in April. So what's that? Whatever that Friday is after that, the 7th or 6th in April.
Something like that.
We're off until that Friday. We're taking a little break here on the show, so tune in for that. We'll have another show. But real quick, by then, we will have a national champion. Pat, who's your national champion for
I'm going to go basketball? Nobody's picking this pick. It's a dark horse, Alabama.
The number one seed, okay. I'm going Texas. Becky, who do you got?
Yeah, I went with my heart, and I put Mizzou. Which is
no.
Hey, MIZ. I wish I could pick that.
What's up?
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping they don't. I'm pretty sure that.
Listen, I can bust. I'll be happy to bust anyone's bracket. That'd be great.
Yeah, this is airing before the game, so hopefully we haven't lost already. Bobby, your alma mater is not in the show this year, so who are you picking?
You know what? I got to go with the old favorite, Oral Roberts.
Yeah, right.
Listen. They're not bad.
No, they're not.
They're not bad.
No,
they're going to win.
Neither is.
But they're not bad.
Neither is, by the way, another dark horse.
You can't count out some.
Oh, you can count them out. I'm aware, very familiar with that team from Tulsa. Yes, I'm very aware.
You can.
If we're being honest here, I guess Gonzaga, just because. Why not?
The Zags.
Hey,
I got them going pretty far in men's and women's. Yeah.
So we'll see how right or wrong we are in a couple of weeks.
My pick. I'm sorry, was for the men's bracket. I know we didn't discuss the women's.
Oh,
bracket.
We did not, because I'm just going to say UConn.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. UConn, men's pick, so.
South Carolina.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Naming states. Great job.
So, like I said, we'll be back in the first week of April, that Friday, 4 p.m. Magic Kingdom time. Tune in for that show. If you like this video, please hit like. It does help us out in the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing because it's free to do so, and it really helps us here on our channel. For everybody here at Not Club 33, we'll see you in a couple weeks.